There are names that echo in silence, names whispered in fear, carried by the wind through citadels and deserts alike. One of them is Hasan Sabbah. In the 11th century, when empires clashed under crescent moons and crusaders raised swords in foreign lands, there was a man who built an empire not with armies, but with loyalty, faith, and fear. Hasan ibn Sabbah. To the west, he was called the Old Man of the Mountain. To his followers, he was a hidden imam's hand. To his enemies, he was a ghost that struck without warning. But who was he really? Born in the city of Qom or Ray? Accounts vary. Hasan was a brilliant mind from a young age. He devoured knowledge, mathematics, astronomy, philosophy. But no truth called to him louder than the teachings of Ismailism, a branch of Shia Islam that believed in a line of hidden imams and divine guidance. In Egypt, he studied under the Fatimid Caliphate. But Hasan was not a man who followed quietly. He questioned, argued, rebelled. He left Cairo under the shroud of night, returning to Persia with a mission to awaken the faithful and challenge the ruling Seljuks. But he needed a place, a fortress beyond reach, a citadel no army could storm. Hidden deep within the Elburz Mountains stood Alamut, the eagle's nest, a near impenetrable fortress carved into stone, with a view of the world below and the sky above. Through cunning and strategy, Hasan took the fortress without spilling a single drop of blood. He converted its inhabitants, fortified its walls, and planted the first seeds of his invisible empire. He called it Dar al-Hijra, the House of Flight. From Alamut, he would wage a new kind of war, not with swords, but with knives, with belief, with fear. His followers became known as the Hashashin, a word that would later give birth to assassin. They were not common soldiers. They were scholars, trained in philosophy, languages, and stealth. They blended into cities as merchants, scribes, beggars. And when the time came, they struck, always up close, always with a dagger. Never in battle, only in shadows. They targeted kings, generals, viziers, those who oppressed, those who threatened the faith, or those whom Hasan deemed unfit to live. But there is a legend that gave the Hashashin their most terrifying reputation. It is said that deep within Alamut, Hasan built a secret garden, a place of flowing rivers, silken canopies, golden fruits, and intoxicating scents. Beautiful maidens danced, music played endlessly, and the very air tasted of honey and wine. New initiates were drugged, perhaps with hashish, perhaps not, and brought into this garden. When they awoke, they believed they had seen paradise. Then Hasan brought them back to the waking world and said, "Obey and you shall return." Was it real? Was it metaphor? Or was the true garden the mind? None can say for sure. But it worked. His followers feared nothing, not even death. With a network of fida'is, devoted assassins, Hasan challenged the might of the Seljuk Empire, the Crusaders, and even rival Muslim leaders. No one was untouchable. He did not seek territory, wealth, or crowns. Only influence, only purification. Letters would arrive at a ruler's table, a dagger planted in the pillow, a message on the wall. Sometimes that was enough. Sometimes it wasn't, and the blade would follow. For decades, Hasan never left Alamut. From that fortress, he sent words and blades across the world. His name spread like wildfire. Some believed he was immortal. Others claimed he controlled jinn or spoke with the hidden imam. Even the mighty crusader leaders, Bohemian Raymond, even Saladin, tread carefully. The assassins were few, but their reach infinite. But not all stories favor the hero. Hasan died in 1124 not by sword, but in silence. He never held a throne, but his influence outlived kings. He never rode into battle, but his name outlived armies. And though Alamut would one day fall, burned by the Mongols, the legend of Hasan Sabbah would never die. Some say he was a fanatic, others, a genius of psychological warfare. To his followers, he was a spiritual commander. To his enemies, he was death itself. Today, the word assassin is common, but few know it began with a man, a mountain, and an idea. That belief when absolute can move mountains or make them fall. In dusty tomes and hidden scrolls, the tales of Alamut remain, and in the wind that howls through the ruins of the fortress. Some say his name can still be heard. Nothing is true. Everything is permitted. That phrase, attributed to Hasan, became myth, a creed whispered in countless works of fiction. But once, it may have been real. This has been a tale from Lunora, where legends live and shadows remember.